coming up next, as promised, the return of Tito Mercado in 10-round super lightweight action as he takes on Hector Sarmiento. We'll take a look at the tail of the tape. The 22-year-old Tito Mercado will enjoy a big height and reach advantage in this one. Mercado 15-0 with 14 knockouts, just buzzsawing through the opposition as he looks to establish himself as a true contender at 140. That journey continues tonight against Sarmiento. And we are now ready to meet the fighters. Send it back up to Pete Trevino.
The following matchup is being brought to you by Salida Promotions and 313 Presents, scheduled for 10 rounds in the super lightweight division. Your three judges for this matchup are David D. Young, Luis Delgado, and Vincent Santino. Now introducing your fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the green trunks trimmed in white, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, he weighed in at 138.8 pounds. He comes to the ring with a record of 21 wins and only 2 losses, with 14 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Cordoba, Argentina, ladies and gentlemen, here is Hector Pajarito Sarmiento. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks trimmed in black, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, he weighed in at 141.6 pounds. He comes to the ring undefeated with a record of 15 wins, no losses, no draws, and 14 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Pomona, California, ladies and gentlemen, here is Tito Mercado. Referee Ansel Stewart with final fight instruction.
Okay, trunks are good. Okay, gentlemen, receive your instruction in the dressing room. We're going to have a good, clean, professional fight. Touch them up.
So we are ready to get another look at Tito Mercado, the near unanimous 2023 Prospect of the Year in terms of the major boxing publications. Tonight taking on Hector Sarmiento. 14 knockouts in his 15 pro victories. Last time out, a 4-round stoppage win over Diner Barrio in Houston on Red Owl Boxing here on DAZN. Raul, in that fight, I mean, I didn't count officially, but I think Barrio threw about 5 punches in that entire fight, so he's looking for a little bit more resistance here tonight against Sarmiento.
I would think so, especially a kid like Mercado. You gotta not only keep him busy, but you want to, every time he fights, you want to pick up the level of opposition. You want a good test. If he wants to be tested one day and thinks he's ready for the top 140 pounders, it's not going to happen that way. So, we need a better test, and hopefully Sarmiento could give him that test, Corey.
Well, Al, when it comes to blue-chip prospects, we've seen them come and go throughout boxing history. Mercado certainly checks the boxes that you want one of those to check. The sparkling amateur record, the gaudy knockout numbers early in his pro career. He seems to fit the bill.
He does, and he has faced a number of former contenders like Hank Lundy, and you mentioned Barrio, and a few others, Jason Velez, and has beat them at a point where they're not at their best still, but he's getting those kind of wins. Now, Sarmiento's was once, he fought back in 2020, he fought Dennis Baranchek, who is now a WBO lightweight champion, won 12 rounds, but he has not fought since. He's been off for a long time. So the question is, how much of Sarmiento, that before was a pretty good fighter, is left?
Yeah, how much is left over 1,617 days that he has not been in professional action. The only man to go the distance with Ernesto Mercado, as he lands a beautiful left hook there a moment ago, is Zolasani and Dungeni, and that is not a stain on anyone's resume. He took Raymond Murataya the distance, took a thrashing from Arnold Barbosa before referee Raul Calles finally stopped it, but that is a durable, durable man.
Well, so far it's been all Tito Mercado, just landing at will, landing power shots, establishing his jab, Good body shots. He's having a field day so far with Sarmiento in this first round.
Nice body shot there from Mercado.
And the more Sarmiento tries to attack, and he has a couple times in this round, Mercado's a very good counterpuncher and has scored several big knockouts with counterpunches.
And Mercado has talked about being very cognizant of how he wins on the way up. It's one thing to go through the motions, to beat the journeyman, to beat the faded contenders. It's another thing to do it the way that he's been doing it, and that seems very intentional. That right hand straying a little bit low from Tito Mercado. As the seconds tick away in the first round that Hector Sarmiento has fought in over 4 years. That'll do it for round 1. Round 2 underway. Tito Mercado and Hector Sarmiento, 10-round, 140-pound action. Good 140-pounder still to come later on. Shojahan Ergashev, Michelle Rivera in action on our main broadcast.
Mercado representing Pomona, California, the home of the great Richie Sandoval, bantamweight, who just passed away within the last couple of weeks. A wonderful ambassador for boxing and a great fighter.
Mercado and his father are certainly pillars of the Pomona community as well. They run a really wonderful foundation in Pomona called Gangs to Grace, where they work with at-risk teenagers, and Tito Mercado is in the gym every day working with the kids. And right now he is working on Hector Sarmiento with a nice right hand that breaks through the guard.
Yeah, that's exactly. Talking about breaking through the guard, that's what Mercado needs to do with Sarmiento, because Sarmiento sometimes, you know, he covers up pretty well that frame defense, you know, kind of like Winky Wright, Arthur Abraham, and you got to go around the gloves or up the middle to open up that guard. But so far, look, I mean, he's just he's finding the right distance. He's landing big shots.
That is a stiff jab from Tito Mercado that rocks Sarmiento back, and you see the blood that was already starting to flow from the nose of Sarmiento. Just 1 round is all it's taken for Tito Mercado to do that kind of damage as he goes back downstairs with a nice right hand to the body.
Like the way he's maneuvering and just controlling the distance with the jab, with a touching jab, or he just puts the jab out there to set up his combinations, his right hands, his body shots. Very disciplined Mercado so far in this fight.
Mercado hunting for knockout number 15.
Well, it might be coming pretty soon if he keeps touching Sarmiento with those kind of shots. I see Sarmiento's body language already asking for help. You know, he's holding on and he's going into survival mode. I don't know how much. I give him maybe 2 more rounds for it. He's tough, but he can't keep getting that kind of punishment.
And that reach advantage certainly coming into play for Mercado. You see the footwork of Mercado. Raul, he can be all the way out of range. His body completely out of punching range, seemingly, but he's still hitting.
Yeah, he's big for this weight class. He's long, he's tall, he's a power puncher, he's very skillful. It's hard to figure him out. You know, it's going to take a guy that knows how to apply pressure, like by kind of zigzagging in, you know, like kind of like Mike Tyson does, and a lot of feints, and go to the body and stick to him. Good defense. He'll fight those guys down the line.
Big combination there from Mercado, a right hand upstairs and right along the belt line. And Sarmiento pouring blood as he heads back to his corner.
Stellar round for Mercado, and he showed a variety of punches in his attack, throwing jabs, right hands, body work. He's got a superb left hook, and there it is. And there was also a big left hook during the course of this round that was a counter left hook, and that is one of his best weapons. Here he was on the attack against Sarmiento. That was toward the end of the round, but the hand speed, the combination impresses for Mercado.
And a little bit of housekeeping, excuse me, needs to be done here as Ansel Stewart will be tasked with wiping up the water and blood covering the corner of Hector Sarmiento, courtesy of that knockout power of Tito Mercado as round 3 begins. Mercado, a 2021 Olympic alternate. We have to work in the Olympic tidbits as we have an Olympian on our broadcast too.
This is that time of year for sure, and we got a
talking
Olympian sitting right next to us here.
And you covered me there talking about the Olympics that are in Paris, France now. They had the opening ceremonies yesterday, so it's been 32 years ago that I was in the Olympics. And guess who was covering me, Corey? Al Bernstein.
I was there. Luckily, I was only 12 years old at the time.
Yes.
But yeah, that was a great memory that we share. And you were wonderful in those Olympics.
Solid shots from Mercado, and again, that amateur pedigree. You see it. He's very skillful, very relaxed. He's focused. Of course, he's fighting a guy that, he's doing whatever he wants at any time he wants to do it. But it's part of growing, building up his record, and going the rounds with a guy that he tries every now and then. But Mercado's he's a smarter guy. He's got the skills. He's got the goods.
Well, and this has been a pattern throughout Mercado's career. He's making guys like Sarmiento and some of the names, Al, that you mentioned earlier, guys that other fighters around this juncture of Mercado's career would not be having this kind of a night against right now. This is thorough domination.
Right. He's exceeded where others have been before him. And he wants to be. There's that left hook. I'll tell you, Mercado's left hook, when a fighter starts to step in against it, is so effective.
It's a matter of time. I mean, how much longer is Sarmiento's corner going to let him take punishment like that, Corey?
Well, Mercado's trying to force the issue now. Less than a minute left to go here in round 3.
Little swelling under Mercado's left eye. Sarmiento still landing some shots, but not enough.
That's a left uppercut that just snaps the head back of Sarmiento. Looks like Sarmiento's blood landing on the scorecards, which may not be necessary in this one, guys, if it keeps up the way this one is going. And when Tito Mercado gets rolling, he is a dangerous, dangerous puncher. Hard body shot there from Mercado. Just finding a spot for it right along the belt line of Sarmiento.
I think in the next round, Mercado needs to go for the finish. When he hurts him, he needs to jump on him with flurries and just go for it. It's that time now, Corey.
Wicked body shot there from Mercado. You could hear that one everywhere in Little Caesars Arena.
We see the combination punching of Mercado early on in the round. And then as the round moves forward, we're going to see the left hook. That counter left hook, when a fighter comes in, is his calling card. I think that's the thing that's going to separate him. And then round moved on, bro.
This might be it. I think the referee over there is talking to Sarmiento's corner, and I believe he said no mas.
And I think we got the signal from referee Ansel Stewart. I believe this one will be over. And it is. This one is waved off, so make it 15 knockouts for Tito Mercado. Take a look at that towel. That's not courtesy of a head clash. That is pure punishment over 3 rounds.
You're right. Yeah, and that that shows you the effectiveness, the power that Mercado has. Pinpoint his accuracy. Again, he was fighting a guy that hadn't fought in a while, but like you said, before, a lot of guys have gone rounds with Sarmiento, and I think Mercado is doing what he's supposed to do with this kind of opponent. And he moves on, keeps learning.
Yeah, and to your point, Raul, listen, that is a clever piece of matchmaking as well. You have Sarmiento 4 years out of the ring, but having gone the distance with a current world champion last time out.
Yes.
I mean, it's a nice line in a press release as well.
That's precisely it. And some people that would be cynical of him would look at all those veterans and say, well, he got them exactly at that. Well, that's what you do when you're early. He knows he wants to be, he's in a very, very tough division, the best in boxing. He wants to be ranked by next year. Well, to do that, obviously he's going to have to step up his level of competition and fight a better brand of fighters, and that's what they're going to do.
See a little bit of a mouse underneath the eye of Tito Mercado getting worked on here. But the vast majority of the damage was done by Tito Mercado as we take a look back at something.
Yep. Little pull back there. Look at that strong jab, solid jab. Look how that staggered Sarmiento. That shows you the damage that Mercado did throughout the fight. Nice 1-2, then a hook, counter hook. There's that solid jab behind that straight left hand. Coming back with the jab. Great combination punching by Mercado, changing up the right hand over the top. I saw him throw it to the body, really dissecting with that jab. There goes that right hand of the body and then coming back with the jab. Excellent presentation by Mercado.
All right, let's make this one official. Let's send it back up to Pete Trevino.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause together for both of the fighters in the center of the ring. At the start of the 4th round, the blue corner terminates this matchup. Therefore, your winner by TKO, Tito Mercado.
So Tito Mercado improves to 16-0, that being his 15th knockout. Again, only one man, Zolasani and Donjeni, has been able to go the distance with Mercado to this point in his career. And Mercado keeps screaming, hey, start mentioning me amongst those big names.